Hello all, we are here for one more lesson of this VariCAD 2016 training course, and in this lesson we are going to see about dimensioning. So let's talk about placing dimensions in your 2D drawing. I will make a couple of entities, random entities, to put some dimensions. So I've created these simple lines and the circle, and to show you a little about the dimensions. We have this toolbar on the bottom that has all the features regarding dimensions, but usually you can get these features coming to this objects menu, and then draw. You have single dimensions, multiple dimensions, and predefined dimensions. So the first one is to show you about single dimensions. Let me show you a little about this idea, which is, for example, in these horizontal, vertical, or diagonal types of dimensions. So horizontal, you can pick 2 points and you will place a dimension on the horizontal way. If you do the same with the vertical, okay, you get a dimension also like this. But what I want to show you is, in this case and on the other kinds of dimensions, we will talk about only the diagonal, because in diagonal you can place, as the name says, diagonal, but you can put also horizontal or also vertical. So what I want to mean with this is, if you use diagonal, you don't need to use the other horizontal and vertical commands, okay? And this is valid for, we've seen these 3 ones. If you see the multiple dimensions, we have other features like the baseline, the serial, and the datum, and we have also the same vertical, 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 and then diagonal. So instead of showing you all these commands, I will show you all in terms of the diagonal, because again, it will make you by default these in diagonal or vertical or horizontal. So there is no need to see all the commands. So in terms of the baseline, it is, you can click one point and then another point and you place a dimension. And then if you click another point, you see that the software gets the first point of the first dimension has the baseline. So you can continue to click and select points and you will get always the same baseline. So this is one way. The other way, it is to use the serial, and the serial has more or less the same concept. So if you click one point, you click another point and you place one dimension. Now if you click another point, instead of starting from the first dimension point, let us click the center, you'll see you'll get a dimension aligned with the first one, getting the second dimension point, and another one, okay, and continuous. So these modes are quite useful. The third way to place dimensions is like this, the diagonal datum. And diagonal datum, you can set, for example, 1 point for setting the definition, and then 1 point here, okay, and then another point here and another point here and another point, sorry. So this is a kind of coordinates, okay? So you can set this in any direction you want. Okay, you've seen the idea of working with the diagonal. It is because you can set the direction and you'll put this kind of coordinates mode in that direction. So baseline, serial, datum, and these are the three modes that we call multiple dimensions. Okay, going back to the single dimensions, so we've seen also the same idea for horizontal, vertical and diagonal, and then we have some specific modes. The first one is for diameter, and diameter basically you click one circle and you place the diameter. You have another mode also for the radius, which is the same. You click one arc or circle and you can place it in or out. Okay, and you can use also the same idea for I will leave this. It is better. First you have angular mode, which is needed for getting two lines and get angle between these two lines. You have also these single or multiple text arrows. Basic are the same in this particular case. As the name says, it's just one single line of text, and in these multiple lines. But basically you place text whatever you want. It doesn't matter. You can put this symbology here, okay, a diameter, plus minus, these letters, whatever you want, okay, and put a dimension. If you click one point here, you have multiple possibilities, and then okay, and you can point to a particular point, okay, and it will put this text on the point you are pointing to. You have also this possibility, the finishing symbols. It says about what is the quality of the surface you are drawing in terms of the production of the part. So finish symbols, you can use several types of symbology. The basic one, the surface is machined, surface is not machined. And then you have some symbology about additional nodes or not, and some marks, outline marks. And then you have to know a little about the values and the roughness of these values and the extended values and whatever it is. You have a lot of information, and to understand all these things here, it is probably better that if you could read a little about drawing rules and drawing symbology. Okay, so basically this is some symbology. When you define all the values and all the issues here, you can locate on one object, okay, and leave it there, and this has a meaning. So for sure we can help you if you need some better understanding of this symbology, but for that purpose contact us through our email, and we will try to help you understanding, and for particular cases you may need. Besides these dimensions, we've seen them all. The multiple also, we have some predefined dimensions that go in the same way as the single ones. So you have horizontal, diagonal or vertical, and a thread. And you have this for the diameter symbology and the thread. So it is the same thing, so there is no need to spend too much time around this. So horizontal you just click 2 points, it doesn't matter where, okay, and basically you have the possibility to insert the diameter symbology, and if it was a thread, it was the exactly same basic concept to use this command, okay. So besides these possibilities, we have also to understand that there is related with the dimensions, we have some definitions that are possible to be made. And we've seen in one of the previous lessons about the arrow style settings in these commands here, but we have also some settings for the dimension style. There are a lot of settings, and some of them are quite clear, like the text attributes, so you can set the height of the text. This is a ratio and line spacing relative to height. The fonts, so these are quite easy, so I will not see one by one. So for any questions, again, please contact us and we will explain some particular question you may have. Regarding text format, also the number of decimal digits, the comma instead of a point, inch values for fractions, so quite easy. Regarding size, we have also a lot of possibilities setting the heights and the distance between the text and the lines, and the little gap between the lines and the part we are pointing, a lot of things, okay. Shape settings, about what is the behavior for these decimal values, also on the dimensions. Also the behavior for situations with not too much space, and how the arrows and the witness lines behave in these cases. The angular dimensions, the format in degrees, minutes, seconds, or decimal digits. For the arrows, we've seen previously also the height and the shape. Text prefix or suffix when we have the radius or the diameters, and the threads also for some specific situations. In this dimensioning, we need also to consider this kind of feature we have. When we are placing one dimension, as in this particular case, before we insert the dimension, the dimension now is mobile, but we have in this toolbar, we have three possibilities. The first one is the possibility to change the text and to insert this symbology, okay? And besides, this is the real dimension, but I can say 16. And I can put, for example, a tolerance and for the upper value, and a tolerance for the lower value. So now I have this kind of look, okay? This is one possibility. The second command is another possibility. This is a little more complex, but we can make a definition regarding especially the dimensions for these specific cases, parallel, serials, in terms of how do they behave, okay? In this case that I'm showing now, I don't have this here, so I will not lose too much time with it. And finally, we have the dimensioning scale. Okay, now is true value, but for example, I can say I have a dimensioning scale of 2. So now you see that regarding the real value, I have the value of the dimension multiplied by 2, and until I change it, all the dimensions will assume this scale. So I will leave it again to avoid my future mistake in the program. Okay. These are also some possibilities regarding the moment of inserting the dimension on the drawing. Finally, we have a couple of edit functions regarding still the dimensions. These 4 functions here, quite easy also. And the first one is to edit the dimension. So I choose one dimension, and now you can see that I can redo the placement of the dimension. The second one, it is the possibility to edit the text. Okay, I get again this dialog box, and it allows me to change the values. Okay, the third one is to move the dimension. Sometimes if I say here, then the text, it is free from the rest of the dimension, and I can say now I want it on this side. This is especially for a graphical look of the drawing, because sometimes I have entities crossing, and it's a mess, so I need to make a better graphical arrangement of things. And the last one, I can copy or use the current attributes. Okay, I can change the attributes, the dimension style settings, make a new definition. For example, I can change the text height, and now I can make a new definition of this dimension. So basically, these are the possibilities we have regarding the dimensions. This is an area where there is a need to practice. For any questions you have after practicing in some drawings, and if you still have questions regarding that symbology I've shown you, please contact us, and we'll try to help you understanding those details that you may have after doing that practice.